Monica Seles just hit another cross-court winner off the backhand side. Love 15.
Capriati serving for the second set. You're watching live coverage of the Australian Open from Melbourne, Australia, everyone. Cliff Drysdale. Joe Fernandez next to me, and we are calling this women's singles quarterfinal. It's Jennifer Capriati, who when she was 13, well, just under 13, was the most famous women's tennis player in the world. Certainly in her debut, taking on Monica Seles. Second set, serving for the set. And now set points for Capriati. She was 2-4 down in the set.
Great time to hit her fourth ace.
Seles going for broke, but unsuccessfully. And Capriati has leveled this at 1 apiece. She has won 4 straight games. We're live in Melbourne. A moment here at the Australian in 1991 in the final. Monica Seles, her first win, taken on Jana Novotná, and it was a big day for Seles, Mary Jo.
Well, I remember this match while I was down here. I lost to Monica in the semifinal. And this was the first of many Australian Opens for Monica Seles. She was a tenacious youngster, loved targets at the net.
Oh, yeah.
Always creating the angles.
Great. Monica Seles finally proved that. It is also the championship point for the Australian Open. First Grand Slam of the year.
Match point here. Again, as we talked about, Monica Seles winning that in 91. Mary Jo, she has been so successful on this court, as you mentioned earlier, only losing 1 match ever on this court.
She ended up winning 91, 92, 93, then missed out because of the stabbing, came back down in 96 and won again.
Monica Seles has left the court. She's taken presumably a bathroom break. 7-5 first set to Seles, having lost just 4 in a row here. She needs to regroup. This is Andre Agassi and Todd Martin coming up next here. Live coverage from Melbourne Park, the Rod Laver Arena. And if you were a betting person now, Mary Jo, which I know you're not, but you always make the right predictions, and well, classic tennis matches.
I watch all of them, Cliff. I love the Borg-McEnroe repeats, the Chrissy Martina matchups. It's fantastic to look back.
Even Agassi-Sampras is a classic from last year in the semis. It was an instant classic.
And even Capriati-Seles have a few classic moments. If you can believe it. She's only 24, Jennifer.
Yeah. Well, the one that you mentioned at the U.S. Open, that was...
It was incredible, the power that these girls produced.
Didn't that affect Jennifer in a sort of a negative way?
Yeah, I think it was a big turning point in Jennifer's career. I think if she would have won that match, it really could have turned her career around. She might have gone on to win the U.S. Open and maybe not gotten off the track.
Folks, we're going to take a break while Monica Seles is doing the same thing. Back to our live coverage after this. Now, this is a live look at Jennifer Capriati, and she is not a happy young lady at the moment. She's been talking to the umpire about how long it has been since Monica Seles left the court. Does she have a point, Mary Jo?
She has a good point, Capriati, because bathroom breaks are supposed to be 5 minutes. Monica's been gone for almost 7 or 8. And the problem, though, is that the locker room is quite far from this center court, and it's going to take Monica a little while to get there and get back.
Let's listen.
And I'm sure what happened was that Monica probably went to change her shirt, and instead of bringing her shirt with her to court and changing right outside the tunnel, there she is coming back. She had a complete change. But umpire Laura Welsh, saying that you have to give her the time to get back to her own locker room.
Which is fair enough. And if it's that far away.
Time.
It's not as hot as it's been the last few days, but it definitely could be a factor. It's humid on the court. There was a little bit of rain earlier in the day. Capriati on a little bit of a roll here, winning the last 4 games of that second set.
Final set.
First point, third set coming up. Subject of sportsmanship, last night I saw something I've never seen before, and that was when Norman and Grosjean were playing. They were in the final. It was actually match point, and the umpire got out of the chair and stopped the two from shaking hands with each other. Because he said that the machine had registered a let serve. And Magnus Norman said, the heck with it, I'm shaking hands anyway, it's over. He didn't agree with the call. Very sporty.
You don't see that very often,
No.
Cliff. But here Monica Seles doing what she needs to do. Aim for the lines, take the initiative immediately. Seles cannot afford to get behind in a rally. Her court coverage isn't as good as Jennifer's. When she's pulled out wide, she's forced to go for the winner.
But that's her game anyway, isn't it, Monica's really?
It is, but the first 3 rounds she played here, first 3.5, I should say, until she came back against Henin, she was pushing the ball, not really going after her shots.
From Capriati, that passing shot could not have been hit any better, and she was there to cover it. Watch.
It was a great pass attempt from Seles, but Capriati staying low, staying firm with the grip on this forehand volley. And it's been high-quality tennis, Cliff. Both these girls have really gone after it. Look at the winners. Capriati 33 to 17 from Seles. That gives you an indication of who's controlling more points out there.
Oh. We've been talking about the power of Capriati, everybody, and you are seeing a display of it now. 5 straight games for Capriati. She lost the first set, down 4-2 in the second, and since then she has not lost a game. How does this compare with the match that you enjoyed watching last night, Amelie Mauresmo and Venus Williams?
It's quite the opposite. There were that many unforced errors from both players, from Venus and Amelie Mauresmo. It wasn't until the last game where we saw Venus Williams pick it up and hit a few winners and a few aces, but it was just filled with mistakes. This match, quite the opposite.
Andre Agassi up next here on Rod Laver Arena against Todd Martin. Both of the USA. Agassi is the number 6 seed, but he's the favorite. The top 4 seeds are gone. That's not why he's the favorite. He was the favorite even before the top 4 seeds were shown the exit signs.
15-all.
Todd Martin playing an unbelievable match the other day against Pete Sampras. Probably the match of his life, with only 12 unforced errors in 4 sets.
30-15.
Balanced by a sort of a lackadaisical looking Pete Sampras. Just wonder how motivated he is these days. 30-15.
40-15.
This is really punishing tennis now from Capriati. Game point for 2-love and 6 straight games. 101 on the Porsche radar gun. That sails long again to Capriati. To Capriati, 6 straight games to her now. You want to look good on the Porsche and by the way, hit it down the middle because it gives you a better break.
A couple extra miles per hour, right? But what a big match this is for both players. Monica Seles has been through to a semifinal in a couple years. And Jennifer Capriati trying to get back into the top 10. She had a very consistent year last year, Capriati, reaching the Chase Championships for the first time since '92. Seles not happy at all with that call. But she regroups, ready to serve again. Let's see. Close to call from our angle. Capriati telling herself to hit it a little higher over the net when she's so far behind the baseline. Here's a look at that other call. Could have been just out, Cliff.
Yeah, very close. When Capriati got to the semifinals last year, it was her best Grand Slam result in 9 years, and she's only 24.
Well, must-win game for Seles right here at 40-15. Has to stop the streak of Capriati. Nice return from Capriati, taking it early, cutting off the angle.
Has Monica lost a little speed as you watch this?
I think so. She's definitely not moving as well as she was in the middle of last year. And that just puts so much more pressure on her to serve well, to get some free points, and to dictate quickly in a point.
Right, to get the points over. Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's so much tougher now because the girls hit the ball so hard. Most of these girls can handle the power that Monica Seles produces.
Mary Jo, you said this is a big game for her. Now it's deuce. She's lost 6 straight games.
Oh. Seles having come up with incredible shots to win points.
And Seles.
The difference, Capriati can run all these balls down, not this last one. But I think it takes its toll on Seles having to come up time and again with the winners.
Game point, Seles. She had no real alternative but to try to side spin that one because she just got there in time. Had to take a little bit off it if she tried to hit that flat like she normally does. It would have sailed on her. And she hit it too long anyway, so deuce again. one is wide, and here's a break point. Playing against Seles is sort of like playing against Agassi, isn't it, Mary Jo? Because she hits it so flat and she keeps you going from side to side. But so much trouble now. Agassi up next here against Todd Martin. Live coverage from down under men's quarterfinals following this women's singles. Break point.
Oh.
7 straight games now for Jennifer Capriati of the USA, trying to get to the semifinals for the 2nd straight year. She's in control right now. 2 great stadiums. Vodafone takes 10,000. This one here that you're watching, this match, in sold out from day one, all sessions, nighttime and day sessions, 15,000 seats. Jennifer Capriati, gold medalist, 92 in Barcelona for the USA. According to her, her greatest achievement in tennis. She was number 6 at the end of that year, and that was her highest ever. She's 24 now. And she is playing like the number 6 again, I tell you. Playing terrific stuff.
Love 15.
There was a little bit of tension going into this match for Capriati. This time last year, she was being coached by Harold Solomon, who's here with Seles, because Seles' coach, Bobby Bank, is at home with his father, who's in the hospital.
Oh.
Terrific return, but Capriati and Solomon broke up a couple months after this event, not really seeing eye to eye on what it was going to take Jennifer to get to the next level.
Oh. It's a little needle, maybe.
As you see, Harold Solomon,
15-30.
who was going to be down here anyway, doing some ATP and WTA board stuff, when Monica Seles called him up and asked him to help her out.
30-all.
She needs help right now. 30-all, down 3 games to love.
Monica's mom, Esther Seles, travels with her daughter almost everywhere. Oh.
Fearsome.
40-30.
Game point, Capriati.
Game Capriati.
Well, that was another huge game for Capriati.
8 straight games for her.
Capriati leads 4 games to love.
Coming out of that game, that pretty much, I think, will put the nail in the coffin. You can just see her intensity. She's just so eager out there. We've seen it all week.
Love 15. Love 30.
Tonight's match here on Rod Laver Arena, Anna Kournikova, Lindsay Davenport. You can see that match at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon on ESPN.
15-30.
And coming up next here on Rod Laver Arena, Agassi and Todd Martin for a place in the last 4 of this first slam.
30-all.
30-all. 4 love, Capriati, 3rd set.
Both these players play so quickly in between points.
Yeah, you can't get into any long stories, can you?
I was surprised Capriati was telling Monica to wait. She's normally quicker than Seles.
Capriati is moving well, Mary Jo.
She moves extremely well. I think it's a little deceiving. You see her out there. She's got strong legs, but she covers the court very well. We saw it last year when she played here and reached the semifinals. And that's been, I think, the biggest difference in the match today, the court coverage from Capriati in regards to Seles.
What was that with Monica? It looked like she's given up on the point.
Well, I think she's getting a little fatigued out here, Cliff.
She's just exhausted then.
And once she gets pulled out wide, if Capriati could have hit that one up the line, Seles wouldn't have run for it.
And then Seles says, well, thank you, hitting it right back to me. Bam, puts it away, game point. Seles has broken the thread of things here. She has finally won a game. It has been a while. 4-1 Capriati.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you. Time.
Live coverage of the Australian Open from Melbourne. Welcome back, everybody. Cliff Drysdale, Mary Jo Fernandez. 4-1 Capriati over Monica Seles in the third. Seles finally on the board. She has not won a game, or she hadn't, in 8 straight games. Agassi and Martin up next live here in the quarterfinals on Rod Laver Arena.
15.
It is now just short of 2:30 in the afternoon, Tuesday afternoon in Melbourne.
Let for serve. Thirty low.
Well, Seles not even playing that serve, thinking it was long. But she needs to know better than that.
It's Cyclops machine. I didn't hear the call on it. You know, Mary Jo, I was talking a minute ago about the movement of Capriati. The fact is that when she gets to the ball, I mean, she is lethal. Here's a look. Let's see. Oh, that looked like I was on the line.
Yeah, you got to play those. And Seles not even making an attempt to move for that.
I just think she's bushed. I think she's tired. Stefano in a good mood now as Jennifer Capriati is 4 points away from another date. Semi-finals.
Well, it's very unlike Monica Seles not to go after shots. Almost giving up here at the end of this third set.
15 on.
Whoa. 15 all. Put it in perspective for me, Mary Jo. Does she hit the ball as hard as the Williams sisters? I'm talking about Capriati now, or Davenport, or is she one step below them in the power department?
No, I think she's right up there. I think if she's set up to hit the ball, especially off the forehand side, she hits it as cleanly because she hits it so flat. When Jennifer gets set up to hit the ball hits and goes through the court, really pushing her opponents behind the baseline.
Another one on the line, looks like, and Seles not happy with that one. Ease the 30-all.
The biggest problem for Capriati has been her consistency. Being able to do it throughout a whole match, and today she's been great. She's up to 41 winners.
So if Lindsay gets through, which you'd have to bet on against Kornikova tonight, I tip my hats off to Capriati. She's moving great. Nevertheless, Seles holds on 5-2. Capriati will serve for the match when we come back.
Capriati wins 5 games to 2.
This is Australia's sporting miracle, everyone. It's the Australian Open Tennis, their biggest international sporting event. Capriati for the match against Seles. Missed it, love 15.
Love 15.
This is a quarterfinal women's singles match. We're live in Melbourne.
Well, this would be a huge accomplishment for Capriati. He's never beaten Seles in a Grand Slam. You got to figure she's got to be a little nervous here, trying to close this thing out.
Oh, that's a beautiful point. Both players. Very nice. Capriati taking a little bit off it on the approach, which she had to do. She did, but nevertheless, watch this.
Seles loves the target at the net. It's her favorite pass.
Never say die.
And that's the Seles we're used to seeing. Fighting to the end, not giving up. Capriati, on the other hand, had a forehand in the middle of the court, which she could have attacked.
Break point.
And didn't do so.
Look at that coverage again. Monica is not used to seeing those things come back.
And this has been the difference of the match. Capriati able to come up with a winner on the dead run.
Let her serve.
Still break point. Seles gets the break.
And Seles
Is that a little elbow or just a very well played game from Seles?
No, I think it's a little both,
Yeah.
but more a little bit of the elbow. I think when you're serving for it, you never get used to that pressure. And like we said, Capriati hasn't beaten Seles before in a major. This is a big deal for her.
Lost to her at the French Championships and twice at the US Open, the 91 that we've talked about, and last year, 99 rather. And last year, in fact, the last 2 years she's lost to at the Open. In fact, they've also played twice at the French. They played in 1990 at the French. Oh!
Great drop shot. Not an easy shot to try this stage in the match, but Capriati really finding some feel right here. That's not a natural shot for Capriati either.
I was just about to say, how can she try that at this stage of the match? And then it did, as you said, turn out to be a great drop shot. So she's a genius. And this is now 2 match points for Capriati. And where is the exhausted Seles? Suddenly, she's back, but in serious trouble. Match point. All I can say is Lindsay Davenport, look out if she plays like that, Mary Jo.
This is a great match from Capriati. Both players playing at a very high level. But Capriati really taking it to Seles, producing her best stuff, fought back from a set and 4-2 down. And you can see she is thrilled to finally overcome Seles in a major, and so is her dad. Capriati playing an aggressive point here to win the match, really hitting the ball, going after it, and she is psyched. 42 winners for Capriati during that match. She deserved to win it.
There's Stefano in the background clapping. Let me not get in front of myself, by the way. I said Davenport, but Davenport has got to take on Kornikova tonight. You can watch that tomorrow, 1 o'clock on ESPN. But how do you see this whole thing, Mary Jo?
Well, Kornikova beat Davenport the last time they played, but Davenport should get through it. She's the favorite, and it's going to be another slugfest. They're going to be banging the ball out there in that semifinal.
There are going to be a couple of bangers coming up here, too, because it's Andre Agassi of the USA. He's no slouch when it comes to hitting the ball hard, and he's taken on Todd Martin of the USA as Jennifer Capriati leaves this court to the delight of this crowd, including Dad Stefano. Well done, Jennifer Capriati. It really was. She moved well, she hit the ball well, and she got the result that she wanted. 6-3 in the third set. Andre Agassi and Todd Martin live. Quarterfinal men's singles next.